Yes, now, bless now, people. Des at King of the Pit TV, signing in live and large. Today, we're listening to Bring Me the Horizon. We're listening to the Count Your Blessings record, alright? Was this the first LP they brought out, potentially? They might have demoed a few things beforehand, done an EP from what I'm aware. But this is Count Your Blessings. This is when Bring Me the Horizon started making moves, man. I think this was put out in 2006. I never listened to it in its entirety. I was never a Bring Me the Horizon fan, but where I was based back in the day, I was 5 minutes away from Sheffield, which is where, Ollie Sykes and the crew were making movements. I think I had the opportunity to see Bring Me the Horizon at Ghost Fest, which was like 2006. I think they played with Whitechapel that year, or that 2008 maybe. Whitechapel, Architects might have been on the bill. And they were all, but not necessarily at their peak, but as far as like the whole scene movement went and the new evolution of what one may consider hardcore, even though it's a little more fashionable, a little softer, as opposed to the tough guy stuff. It was a whole entity in itself. Had plenty of stories and mythological sort of hearsay about Ollie Sykes back in the day, because he was such a polarizing character between all the kids with the dyed fringes and the stretched ears and so forth. So you can definitely see how they blew up, because they had the look, the aesthetic, and let's see if they had the sound. So without further ado, this is Pray for Plagues. I think they did a music video for this one, but we don't do music videos no more on this, purely as, it's debatable as to whether the video will actually be allowed up. This is Bring Me the Horizon. Let's jump straight in. It doesn't say if this is a remaster, but the production's brilliant. Like, they jumped into a nice studio with a nice sound engineer pretty early on by the sounds of things. So the riffing, obviously pretty metalcore, I'd say, first and foremost, but it's actually a little thrashy. It's a bit of low register, which sort of verges a little into death metal as well as that. But right now we've got the drum skanking away and the riffing, quite intricate, twinkling, like thrashy-esque riffs. We got the dual vocals, which is very reminiscent of the whole deathcore thing back in the day. We had the high register, shrieking, sort of stuff, and growling, low register. Alright? I like my lower vocals to be a little crispier and gurgly and a little more of that brutality. But what can I say? I'm not even going to hate. This is sounding pretty bloody good so far. So I just did a react to a Day to Remember's first record just before this. I'm going to start a petition to bring back the E-Chug breakdown, man. Man, there's not enough of this stuff going on. It's so good. wow. So the drummer's really good, the frontman's really good, and obviously had the charisma to match. The guitars are really good. Like, you heard a little bit of borderline shred guitar there on that little fill. This is really good. They were a really good band. And obviously they still are, if not better, but I love listening to bands' first records or early stages of the band, because from the get-go, they were really good musicians. The production was magic. And I think the artwork's timeless, man. I really like the artwork to this record as well. This is really good. This is really good. It's making me... I think I might go on a run of listening to mid-2000s, like deathcore and scene bands. Like, I might get a Job for a Cowboy on next or something like that. Have a quick run back through Annotations of an Autopsy, stuff like that. MySpace core bands, man. Slow sweeps there. You don't hear sweep picking too much nowadays, do you? Just revised the initial verse there, going back into that. Really talented with the squealies. I was never able to pull off them pinch harmonics well. You know, in hindsight, it's kind of mad, these metal guitarists who are always doing the squeals on guitar, because essentially that's kind of scientific. To hit that string in the right place in succession, to do that is that's crazy, man. You have to be so precise to do that. Oh, come on. All the kids dropping a little tube bomb they've been practicing in their kitchen for this for so long. That was me, man. Take the vocal out, it's like a Suicide Silence-esque slammy breakdown. Little bit of edge there at the end to annoy your parents when you're listening to this back in the day. Let's keep it on moving. You know what? I'm not a fan of these whole metalcore scene titles. Tell Slater not to wash his dick. I think it's a film reference, but it's such a terrible title. It really is such a terrible title. So let's move on to it. Track number 2. There's King of the Pit TV signing in live and large. You know we're listening to Count Your Blessings from start to finish. Check my first video on this record if you want to hear a little bit of insight, because I was pretty close to Bring Me the Horizon, not personally, but as far as my community goes, especially during this period and how they blew up, and you know, you had all of these scenes that's talking about seeing Ollie Sykes and swearing at him and pointing the finger at him and stuff like that, which you know, obviously came down to jealousy back in the day. This one's entitled Tell Slater Not to Wash His Dick. It's a horrible song title. I think it's a movie reference of sort. Let's get into it. I enjoyed the first tune. Let's go. Dive bombs. There's a lot of thrashing going on in this record so far. The high vocals grow on you. The high vocals grow on you. Personally, I don't think they're as good as, but are reminiscent of Trevor from the Black Dahlia murder. That sort of thing. Really cool. Dude, if a band came about nowadays, at least in where I'm based, had a sound like this metalcore, deathcore, well, it's modernised metalcore sound, not like this mosh metal sound, and played within the hardcore community we've got here, the whole UK hardcore thing, I think they would do really well, because we've got no bands at this moment in time like this. This whole revival thing could be spearheaded by a band who came back doing something like this. I reckon it'd be quite a good thing. And I say that because I'm listening to this thinking, bloody hell, I could do something like this. I'd like to riff in a band like this. Come on. Yeah, this is classic deathcore riffing as well. This is as Blood Runs Black riffing. Anybody know that band? As Blood Runs Black. Yeah, that's a classic. I'm going to go back so I don't miss all the build-up, but that desperate spoken word-esque into the shriek, into the growl. Especially the line, I will always love you. It's cheesy, but it's a sign of the times. It reminds me of that first Demure record. And I think somebody's commented on this before. I do bring references to a lot of different bands because I like to link up the dots and let you know what I see in these bands and the influences and what they may have influenced and how the genre was. Maybe not as it was, but how I perceive it as being. So I heard a little bit of a Muir there with that sort of stuff. Goodbye to the Gallows. That was a really good record by Muir back in the day. Come on. Move. Just heard from my mate who said the production's pretty mismatched. I'm waiting on a response for that. I don't think it's mismatched. I think the production quality is very, very good. Come on. going to go back on that. Because I don't know if I picked it up. I was going to think all that needed was a bass drop. That needed a fat fucking 808. There was a bass drop. There was a bass drop. To give you insight on what he said of the mismatched production, supposedly it's different between songs. Like there's an uneven production on this record, so we'll keep our ears out, see what I think. Post-hardcore. Man, that was a good sound there at the end. That was a good sound. Shit, we're going straight into the bloody gallops here. Right, let's keep it moving, people. Des, King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Count Your Blessings from start to finish. This one's entitled For Stevie Wonder's Eyes Only. I want to give a shout out to the user who uploaded this. Whore to a Chainsaw. TAIM. Viart is Murder, man. I had a friend who was mad on that band. I think I saw Viart is Murder live once. Crazy band, great band. Let's go. Come on. The guitar sounds like it's in C standard, perhaps, although the breakdowns maybe hint towards it being drop C. I don't think it's as low as drop B. But if these guitars were tuned up to E standard, the instrumental could potentially sound like a thrash metal band more so than the deathcore act we're hearing right now. Come on. You can tell they spent a lot of time on the record as far as writing it goes, because there's a lot of intricacy with the guitars and there's so many sections per song. So they're going from A to B to C to D, all just flying through these different sections with, you know, these quite complex patterns. Come on. That simple, just little power chord sounds so heavy. But banana, banana. It's heavier than it should be, that section. Some vocal shredding, screaming there. One more time, I I'll take everything you. There was a surprising lack of Bring Me the Horizon guitar covers back in the day, from what I'm aware. Guitarists didn't tend to take these tunes on. I don't even know if half of this stuff was tabbed, but it should have been. Very good. Very good. There's a consistent quality so far throughout the record. Let's move on. You know what I mean? The one downside, due to my personal taste, I don't really like listening to 4 minutes worth of music. I like it being shorter, so we've got 2 minutes 11 coming up. A lot like Vegas. That's something down my street. Alright, let's get straight onto it. So far so good though. This has been brilliant. Will I listen to it again? I'm a bit beyond listening to this style of music, but I do know this is good metal, or at least relative to a lot of bands. Very talented from early, definitely. There's King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Count Your Blessings, start to finish. This one's entitled A Lot Like Vegas. Let's go. I just had time to pay attention to the guitar tone, really oversaturated with distortion there. Sounds lovely, lovely. Do you know who produced this record? Because my mate's telling me a fella called Stu McKay produced this record down south. And I've actually worked with Stu, and he's recorded bands like a lot of beatdown acts. He's done Malevolence, Cold Hard Truth, stuff like that, and supposedly he's worked with Bring Me, so let me know. Come on. Yeah, that's a classic, that where we go from one guitar to the other. That's a classic, that's a classic. Even the bands that were just starting who couldn't do too well, they always did that. Maybe throw the bass guitar in. Boom! We've got harmonies on the licks. Both guitars harmonising with each other, separate notes. It's the little things. Thrash. So it's not a party if it happens every night. Not a party if it happens every night. Cool. A lot like Vegas. A lot like Vegas. We're having a lot of breakdowns now. I'm having hard time to differentiate one from the other. I said let's bring back the E-Chug breakdown, but I'm starting to see how it got a bit boring after so long. This next one's entitled Black and Blue. Des King of the Pit TV signing in. This one's entitled Black and Blue. We're listening to Count Your Blessings start to finish. This is track 5 of 10. Let's go. Come on. If you've not checked out the videos prior to this, I've commented on how thrash metal it is really. It's drop tuned into a low register, but instrumentally there's been so much thrash metal. Side to side. I had a friend who was in the year above me who was into brutal music in high school, and he did a Bring Me the Horizon vocal cover for his high school music, one of his tests. I wasn't in the room for that. Do I wish I was? Not really. It would have been quite a story to tell if I had been though. Tasty. I think they were good at throwing the guitar licks in and the riffing in between the breakdowns, because with it being so basic and just like chugging away in 4/4 at the low end string, what they did was sort of separate themselves from the rest who just simply chugged on that low string, because it's so easy to unintentionally just rip off whichever band has done the same pattern on that lower string. And you know, unless you're like really thinking outside of your box rhythmically, you are going to end up ripping off some other band. Come on. little bit of tapping there with the guitarist, the technique we've not seen so far in the riffing. The guitarists are really good at what they do. They were really good metal guitarists. Even the rhythm's nice. Metal, that riff in there was metal as hell, wasn't it? We've got Slow Dance next, 1 minute 18. So either this is going to be a bridge on the record, or this is just going to be a breakdown for breakdown's sake, because I know a lot of bands used to do that, so let's check it out, let's move on. I mean, Disney isn't what I remembered it being. We've got Welcome to Wrexham, some football docu-series. Man, I just remember it being Hercules, man. There's King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Count Your Blessings start to finish. This is 1 minute 17. It's entitled Slow Dance. Either it's going to be a bridge section, or it's just going to be a breakdown for breakdown's sake, because I know a lot of bands used to do that back in the day. I don't know. Let's get into it. If it's like more of a bridge than a breakdown, we might as well just get straight onto Liquor and Love Lost. All right, let's do it. Got some keys here. Oh, there we go. That's the breakdown. No, we're not going off-brand, are we? I told you it was going to be a breakdown, if not. It's outro material on a live set, you know what I mean? Finish off with the one-hit wonder and then, hold on everyone, woo, feedback ring, woo, dun dun dun. Awesome, nothing special, but back in the day I would have thought that was brutal as hell, bro. Yeah, we got Liquor and Love Lost next, so let's keep it moving, people. Yes, no advertisement, straight to it, let's go. There's King of the Pit TV, this one's entitled Liquor and Love Lost. You know what we do over here, we listen to it from A to B. This is track 7 of 10, let's go. These sound like some of the most fun riffs to play when you get them tight. That pedal note, bum 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 bum, classic metalcore riffing, and then you got the death metal tremolo picking what comes in on the latter half. That sounds so fun to play. While I'm here, I'll give you a little bit of insight. I played guitar one time at college. I didn't have vocals on it, was the instrumental. I did a As Blood Runs Black tune. What was it? It was, I don't think In Dying Days, was it? It was something like that. And yeah. I raised a few smiles when we got into like the 45-second to 1 minute breakdown. Just like, didn't. Good times. Squealies than you'd hear back in the day. Guitarist loves a squealy, man. Cool effect there on the guitar. We had a ringing of the cymbal there, so it's probably going to blend itself into 15 fathoms counting, or at least on the record it would do, right? So let's get straight on with it, people. Let's get this record done. There's King of the Pit TV, track 8 out of 10. I don't think we're going to do the last track purely as it is a cover song, and I don't know enough about Slipknot. I have reacted to Slipknot and that tune in particular on this channel, but I've listened to it once, so I don't want to comment on Bring Me the Horizon's cover because I don't really have an in-depth understanding, or like sort of, you know, I'm not a Slipknot fan, so to speak. But this is 15 fathoms counting. Let's get in with it. Very organic. I think you even heard the creak of a chair there where the guitarist is sitting on, if you heard that. Listen. There. This was brought out in the same year as the record Allegiance by As Blood Runs Black, I think. And that record is what I would call Deathcore 101. I don't think any band has done deathcore as pure as that record by As Blood Runs Black. And they had a tune on there which was like this, clean guitars. For some reason, these guitarists are really good at playing broken chords in interval tunes on the record. I don't know why. They're really good at it. And I think this is why these bands became successful. They knew how to evoke an emotional passage when necessary, and it's just amazing, really, in comparison to just like the straightforward brutality we have generally, and just the 10 dynamic on the 10 scale. Otherwise, that's me. I wonder if the drummer knew how to play a little more reserved, because obviously we dialed down the drums in the production of this tune, but it kind of still sounds like he's just smashing the kick and this. Is it a splash cymbal? It does seem like he really has the capabilities of jamming out a little more dynamic with the guitar at this point. We have the bassist just doing the descending pattern. Cool. Right, we got Off the Heezay next and last. 5 minutes 42 will be the longest tune we're going to listen to on this record. Are we excited, people? With it being last tune on a record like this, I'm hoping for something half decent. There's definitely going to be a big breakdown. Definitely going to be a big breakdown. But hopefully we get some good one-liners as well. That's what I'm hoping. Des, King of the Pit TV signing in. This is the last track off of Count Your Blessings. We've listened to the whole record. We've had a great time. I've had a lot of things to comment on, so feel free to have a quick scan through if you haven't done so already at the prior tracks. We're not going to be listening to the Slipknot cover, as I don't feel I have a position to talk on it too much, as I'm not too aware of the original. I have reacted to it on this channel, but as opposed to listening to it once and then moving on to the next music and the next music, I feel like I don't have the concentration and emphasis to really comment on how good or how they switched up the cover. So this is Off the Heezay, last track, let's go. Come on. This is a Bring Me the Horizon thing. They got the overlapping just power chord. We've got the drums building it up, building into the beat, and we've got the guitar just either thrash riffing or metal riffing to some degree, metalcore riffing. We'll come in with like some sort of crazy fill on the lead guitar, what's been playing the overlapping chord, and then we'll come in with like some crazy fucking, definitely have some of them high-end vocals at top, I reckon. Quality. Yeah, I spoke about this on an earlier video. This was a classic back in the day, and when you were in a heavy band, first starting your first band and stuff, it seemed like most bands used to do this. The trade-off before the breakdown, dun 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 dun, and then you might have the bassist, bum bum bum. But we've switched it up completely. We've actually had a little bit of a gang chant of the melody, so that's pretty unique. I like that. Great stuff. That was heavy. That was heavy. The vocal there on the pattern there. Yeah, that's proper MySpace chord. That's some Dr. Acula style stuff. That. This is the hardest song. This is the hardest song on the record. Bring Me the Horizon is a quote from Pirates of the Caribbean, I think. Double kick's gone crazy. So we're going to have an outro or a breakdown. It's going to be one or the other, what we got going on. An emotional instrumental outro or a breakdown. That was a nice little ornament to have at the end. A lot of bands won't go as far as throwing them keys there on the end, but it was nice that they did so. You know what I mean? Went out of their way because, you know, you're paying for all of this at the studio. So, yeah, I appreciate them for doing that. That was a good record. That was Count Your Blessings in full. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. We're going to listen to some more MySpace era deathcore, mid-2000s stuff, definitely. We're going to probably look at 2004 till about 2008 in particular, because some fantastic music, some great heavy music came out during that period, from the UK, from the US. I don't think Europe was coming out with too much, in all honesty, around that time. So let me know down in the comments if there's any European acts or, you know, even more Avast. And I'll get straight into it. I'm signing out, people. One love. Goodbye.